Good afternoon, Mr. McCall. I wanted to take a moment here and review the lesson we had. When we take a look at the setup here and we look at our address, I definitely think we're in much better positions from where we were originally when we first started here. Now with this lesson, what we try to do is trying to get you to feel a little better transition and get out of the position of right here. And fast forward right here. So right here, here's a little bit of an improvement where we were, but still quite not where we need to be as we take the club back. You know, what we'd like to see is getting to see the club where it comes back a little bit more to the inside rather than going straight up to the outside here like we see here. So what I'm talking about here, or what we can initially see, is, you know, we look, here's Freddie Couples. Now Fred, right here, now this is a driver, but still the same positioning here. You can see how your hands are here to the inside, the club's to the outside, whereas Fred, hands are still roughly still in front of him. And then we go up, almost like he picks the club up, but he gets a good shoulder turn back. Gets the hands falling back down in position as he turns down and through. Now the reason I left Fred up here is just to show you that even if the hands go up in a different position, not quite in the ideal position like we may have seen, what we've talked about in the past, but what we see here is the transition that we initially worked on, is getting those hips, getting our body to turn through into impact. You can see how we're looking at both his rear ends here and his back turn here, and his club goes out towards the target. This is another key point here, as the club is going down the line, not necessarily up, and so you can see yours right here, where he worked on not the hands going across. Now hold on one second here, I want to see here. You can watch this case here because of that, where you see the hands go dead across, is right here. Hands go back, we make our turn back, but then as you go to turn down, there's that right hand really collapsing the left hand, like we see here, down and through our shot. Now, sometimes what happens, that club can get turned around or turned across, so the path of the club goes across our body this way. And that's where we've seen, and that's where in this particular picture here, I put a ball right to the inside, and I said, here, James, what I want you to do is I want you to swing out and swing down the target line. Now, when we watch that, this is what it looks like. You up, really focus on trying to swing through that target line. Hands don't look like they're collapsed as much. Now, the ball wasn't perfect, but what we can see here is we still see just a little bit of the hands right through there. But I tell you this is one much better position here than where we were. So as we worked along and as we went through the lesson here, we changed your grip up just a little bit. Tried making that, there's where your grip was. You can see the fingers right here. Right hand's not in a bad position, but all I wanted you to do, keeping it there, and then let's look at the grip again. This is where you were, and then this is where all I ask you to do is just turn the hands to where you don't see the fingers. And you see simply right there to right there. Much better position, and I'll kind of go right into that there as we look here. We can see here that the thumb and the index finger, as they touch and as they form together, the arrow that they create, or a line that they create, points up in the direction of your right shoulder. Whereas if we were to look at your original position, you could see right here that line points up here to your left shoulder. And what we ideally would like to see time after time is that it's pointing the V's on your hand, points right of your head or right to your right shoulder. That way, as we go back, we're not seeing an over-rotation of the hands, but all you have to do is then use the shoulders to take the club back down the line. So initially, turning the hands over a little bit, getting the hands into a little bit of a stronger position from where they were. Now next, what we talked about here is something very simple. Now I'm going to try to putting the grip on here, and what I did essentially here, Mr. McCall, is I put a club right in the ground, and I pointed it almost right at your sternum. And what I want you to have the feeling of is as you take it back, now you can do this with the bag as well, putting the bag right in front, but as you turn back, I want you to feel like that left thumb is going up and over that right shoulder. Now when we get to here, it's about as far as we need to go, so as you come down, from this motion coming down, we want that right hip, there we go, right hip starting to turn, body then turns down and turns through the position, and that's all we want to do. So by putting this pole in the ground or putting this position here, it got you the feeling of swinging down and through the shot, and that's all I was looking for, is down through the shot. Now, as we go to the next position, what I did with it is something very simple. Put a tee out in front, and I want you to hit both tees. I want you to hit the tee that's right in the center. We turn it back, we get that extension. Then all I want you to do is to turn down and through that position here, get them hips turning through that position. See how the hips turn through dramatically more than what we see here in this position here. And that, especially that's the point of impact that we're talking about. See how the hips are still in the same position they were, right? You start them on the downswing, but then you stop them right there. Stop, hands collapse, turn through, and you can almost see here that that right knee and that right hip are in the same position as you are on the right-hand side all the way through. So as you look here, that's what I want you to be able to feel, is the transition of the body starting and then hitting both tees as you turn down and through. That way it allows you to get a little better contact, a little better feel time after time. Now from there, the next drill we talked about was trying to go about halfway. You know, I want you to take the club back halfway, just to about shoulder, to waist high, and then all I want you to do is have the right hip, as the right hip starts to turn down and through, we feel the back of the left hand hitting the bag. Bam, bam. Feel the back hand rotation down and through, and that's what we're looking for here, Mr. McCall, is just that rotation with the lower body down and through the shot to give a little more help to both the forearms and the hands. Now as you do these, you know, we can do 2 sets of 20, we could do just 20 reps, we could do 40 reps, but the more we do it, we change that muscle memory and change that position. Now if you have any questions at all, Mr. McCall, I want you to give me a call, 314-724-6539, or shoot me an email at michaelwyattgolf@gmail.com. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.